and welcome to the Co-OpCast. Happy New Year's, and we hope 2021 will be a great year for all of us. For a couple housekeeping things, we just wanted to mention that we started an Instagram account.
Yeah, it's Co-OpCast, so it's Co-OpCast, no space.
Okay.
You'll find it in the description.
Oh, sweet. And we'll be posting on there weekly, or I think Carter's wife's in charge of that. So that'll be exciting with some memes and stuff.
Yeah, Mimi was one of the wives in the previous episode. She'll be in charge of making some good memes. She listens to the episode and she thinks of some funny meme ideas that she makes. And so you can find those on our Twitter and our Instagram.
Nice. So how's everyone's week and holidays? We haven't talked for a couple weeks.
Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Because you guys are excited about my experience that I had about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2 episodes ago, when we recorded last time, we talked about the bidet, and I didn't have to go at all when I was here, and I didn't want to get like half the experience just by going and trying it. So I went and tried it today because I had to go when I came to Carter's.
How was it?
And it surprised me, man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think Sawyer said it like, because it did make me like jump when it first hit. Like, I just got hit by like a paintball or something. Just like, oh. And like Carter showed me how like move it around and stuff. I didn't have to move it. It was perfect, like where it needed to be. So that's why it just was like, it was right up there, man. It was terrible, but it was great. It was just like, it scared me at first, but it was a great experience.
So terrible, but great.
Well, it started out terrible because like it went right up my butthole. Like, never had anything up there before. It's a little jet stream that just like,
slid in.
Ew. Yeah, all that's cut.
So would you recommend it? Like, would you consider getting one after this experience?
I'd need to try it 2 or 3 more times. I'm not 100% sold right away.
Okay, interesting. No, it's awesome. I love it, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I'm actually even rewiring my bathroom tomorrow so that I can plug it in easier because I have a long extension cord that goes all the way across the room to plug it in.
Literally, you have to like step over his extension cord, pile of extension cord to like get to the toilet.
Yeah. And I can't deal with that forever, so I definitely have to rewire the bathroom so I can reach it closer.
Yeah. Other than that, my week's been great. New Year's, Christmas, all that fun stuff. My birthday was last Sunday, so just been kind of a chill being at home.
It's kind of nice that it's nice having the holiday season. You know, it's pretty busy this time of year with Thanksgiving and then Christmas right after, and then New Year's like a couple of days after Christmas. I'm kind of excited to just get back to normal life and just kind of go back to the grind of things.
Same.
But it was nice having that break. You know, Christmas time was nice, and it was fun recording with you guys in person all together. And
I can say one thing is I'm really ready to get back to my setup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I miss my computer and I miss my space at home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the hard thing about holiday season sometimes is if you're traveling to family and you're not, home where you actually live, you just kind of have to deal with other people's homes and your parents' house and wherever you're staying. So it is nice to be back.
It is. So what did each of you guys get for Christmas? What was like your favorite gift you got? My wife got me a nice little microphone for the podcast.
He's
exciting.
He's making me jealous and making me want to go buy my own.
Yeah. For me, my wife got me a nice drill because we've been working on moving to our new house, and we're settled in and everything now, but we really needed a drill for a lot of the things we needed to do, and I had to borrow my dad's drill like for a month. So it's nice having some more tools of my own that I can have. I can use it all year on the farm. I actually got my 1-year-old son, a little tractor toy that he rides on, and he's starting to learn how to push the pedal. Because when you push down on the pedal, it actually goes forward. You can it goes like 1 mile per hour. It's hilarious watching him to drive it because like he's not old enough to steer it or everything, but he tries to reach down and like grab the wheel while he's going. So he's
gonna run over.
Kind of dangerous, but we watch him. And whenever we're not looking, we turn around and we see him, and he's just sitting on the tractor trying to get it to move. So it was fun. It was a good Christmas. My son is finally old enough to like. It was fun to watch him Christmas Day because last Christmas he was only like a month old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang.
I guess if you guys want to know, on Christmas, I mainly got socks and games, but like the socks were probably the most important part. Like, there's always the joke that people hate getting socks on Christmas, but I love it because I love stance socks. If you don't know what they are, get some because they're like the best socks in the world.
Yeah. Stant socks? Stance socks.
Like getting in your 3-point stance
Right.
in football.
Okay.
Like, yeah, like I'm wearing some right now, and they're Grinch socks.
Nice.
And they all have designs on them, and they look cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
I'll have to check it out.
Do they have pads like Nike Elite socks?
Not really.
Little
Their big
pads?
thing is that they don't have stitching in the corner, so you don't have you're not stepping on stitching ever, normal like Under Armour socks and stuff, stitching like on the toe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
cool.
That's cool.
Then on my birthday, the big thing was I got an air fryer, so excited for that.
Yeah, we had an air fryer like a year and a half ago. They're awesome.
Make me more fat.
It's supposed to prevent you from using a lot of oil with things, so they're like promoting it to be healthier. But
yeah,
then again, it just makes me eat more chicken strips,
chicken nuggets.
French fries. Yeah, like everything you put in the air fryer is not like healthy unless you're like what do you call it, dehydrating like fruit and stuff. But I'm never gonna do that with mine.
Well, do we want to move on to the topic at hand?
Anything else? I'm excited to hear you guys. Stuff.
Yeah. So it's the beginning of a new year. We're excited to be into 2021. Excited to move on and get into a new year. Get out of 2020. We're here in this episode to talk to you guys about just kind of a recap of 2020, things that we enjoyed, some memories that we had, some of our favorite things that we experienced during 2020. Even though it was a pretty tough year for everyone, there were still good things that came out of it. And we're just here to talk about those with you guys today. And throughout the episode, if you could think of anything that pops up in your head about your favorite things, feel free to comment in the comment section below.
So should we get straight into our top 3 favorite video games of 2020? Well, to preface for everyone, I was on a mission. I was gone from home for the first 6 months of the year. So a lot of my stuff is from things of few past years because I experienced them late since I was gone for 2 years.
A couple of mine,
especially my movies,
of mine came from the past years, just because it's games that I wanted to get caught up on and that. And
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing them this year.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I mean, this was a pretty good year for gaming, I think, especially with the quarantine going on. It gives you a lot of time to do that sort of thing, just depending on what happened with you personally. But I feel like a lot of people this year were able to get a lot more free time. So we can talk about some of our favorite games that we had. You want to start, Sawyer?
Yeah. So I'll do an honorable mention first. So my honorable mention is Cyberpunk for video games. I not put in my top 3 because I returned it, and I was happy with it. I got it day 1, and I took a day off work to play it for 10 hours. I played it all day, and I really enjoyed it. It's just I feel like I've taken enough from the game already and then so Xbox was giving full refunds for it since people weren't happy with the glitches and whatnot. So I was like, I might as well get my $60 back since I already feel like I've played enough of it. It's not my top 3 because it wasn't perfect. I can tell that because it hasn't been. It was made for the Xbox One, so they're still trying to work on making it work well for the Series X and PS5. And I could tell it wasn't up to par with the graphics like it could have been. There was a lot of glitches and whatnot, but I played through it and I didn't mind it at all. But it's an honorable mention because I've had 3 other games that I've played more and I enjoyed more.
I think it goes back to one of our earlier episodes. The biggest gripes we have with video games nowadays is them selling an unfinished product and then saying, "Oh, we'll get to it later in DLC." Exactly. It's I just feel like it's lazy sometimes, and that's what came out with Cyberpunk is it was an unfinished game.
There's no way they didn't know those problems were there when they released it, especially for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
I didn't follow the game too much when it was about to come out, but I just heard that people were so mad that they kept delaying it, and just they kept pressuring the company to release it, and then they finally release it and it's unfinished, and then they're mad that they released it early, and it's just a mess, and they just
need to. I feel like some more game companies need to take a thing out of Nintendo's book because Nintendo, like, they delay games all the time,
Mhm.
but they're just like, we're just making sure that the game is perfect for you guys when it comes out. Like, you got to realize that,
Yeah.
like, making a game is hard.
Right.
Like,
I think one thing companies need to do is just not put out a specific date until they're at a
Exactly.
certain
Yeah.
point where it's just much easier to work towards that goal. I have
Mhm.
as bad as it is right now when they finished it after delaying it. I don't even know how many times they delayed it.
I think
Like
it's like
3
10 months.
times. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they
3D.
still didn't. It still wasn't a polished game. I feel like they needed to just say coming out in 2021 instead of a certain date,
Yep.
specific day. You know what I mean? And then once it gets closer, then they put out the
Mhm.
date once they know that it's actually ready.
Well, and
Because that just looked like a mess. I wasn't even tempted to buy Cyberpunk after it came out and after hearing about all this disaster stuff.
Yeah. The game is very good. The story is very good. It was really compelling. The voice acting was really believable. I was really impressed. And the leveling up system really kept me intrigued, and I liked it a lot. My only problem was I felt like the combat system was a little iffy. Like it felt really stiff to fight. I didn't love that aspect. But I think come later on this year, that's gonna be a really good game. There's a lot of nudity in it. If you don't know that, every corner they have some kind of.
See, I just think that Elder
Yeah,
Scrolls
it's a good game.
6 doesn't have the same thing because Bethesda had the problem with Fallout 76 being kind of similar with their glitches and
Yeah.
stuff, and so hopefully they learned from that mistake and are really polishing up Elder Scrolls 6 so that when it comes out, we can all enjoy it and it can be just as good as Skyrim was.
well, and
Yeah.
I think the problem is nowadays too is there's so much hype for a game. Like Cyberpunk was so hyped up, and it was like it's never gonna live up to that. Like
Exactly.
there's plenty of people that this game
Yep.
would have probably been their favorite game of their lives if they didn't get it hyped up. Like
Yeah.
as much as it was. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's what it was for me for Destiny. For like 2 years before Destiny was released, like I don't know what year it was, 2013 or whatever. I was just so hyped up for it, and it just ruined my experience because I was expecting so much more than it gave me. So
Mhm.
that's just a problem that we as gamers need to keep in mind is to just not overhype stuff because I don't think anything can live
Yeah.
up to our expectations if we hype it up so much.
What's your
Yeah.
other ones? We got on a big tangent there.
Okay, I'll go through all mine. Okay, number 3. I've played this with my family, and I've shared it with my nieces and nephews, and we have fun with it. It's Planet Coaster. It's like a roller coaster tycoon. I love it because the graphics are really good when you zoom in into a point that you on the theme park. You can see every little detail in it. They did really well. There's a lot of customization, and I've been able to share it a lot with me and my wife. We work on our roller coaster theme park together, and we're trying to make it look all nice and detailed. So I spend a lot of time on that. Number 2, so my top 2 are both multiplayer competitive games. Number 2 is Valorant. I've spent a lot of time looking at gameplay video and trying to get better at it. But then number 1 is Warzone. I've been really, it's definitely number 1 because I'm trying to get a win so hard. It's such a hard game to win. It pisses me off, man. That's all we played when my 2 brothers came over for Christmas. That's all we played, man. We had 3 screens on the wall, and we just trying to grind out a win. Still haven't gotten one yet. I get top 10 a lot, yeah, but yeah, I'm really loving it. I'm addicted. I have won. There's the new Rebirth Island. I've won that one, but it doesn't feel the same. I need to get a Warzone one.
Nice.
But yeah, so Warzone number 1, Valorant 2, Planet Coaster, and then Cyberpunk's my
Awesome.
honorable mention. That's it.
Cool. Well, I can talk about some of my games, and my honorable mention this year is Animal Crossing: New Horizons. That came out in March 20th of 2020. That was a delayed game. I believe it was a pretty polished game when it came out. I have really no complaints about it. It was it's an
Nice.
honorable mention for me because I didn't play too much of it. I had a lot of fun with it when it first came out because that was like right when quarantine was going on and
Had time.
yeah, it was a kind of a meme at the time. It was like the perfect game for it to exist at the time of quarantine. It's like the world is burning, but we can go into this little fantasy island game where
Happy
everything's
little
so
people.
peaceful and you're with your little furry villager friends and everything's just perfect. And I really liked it because my wife just got hooked on it. Like if you guys listened to the previous episode with our wives, my wife, she kind of mentioned that she never really played games when she was a kid. She just kind of started playing games when we got married because she came here to the US and just had more opportunities to pick up a controller or play on the PC. And she's still playing Animal Crossing even today. I get home from work and sometimes she's playing it, and it's just fun to watch her play it because she's just done so much to her little island.
Mhm.
And I haven't played it since like June or July, but
Yeah.
my house is still there on the island.
I'll just go ahead and say that's actually my number 3 on my list because it's for the same exact reasons. My wife got really into it. We both haven't played it all that much because, as you know, Brina didn't game much too, and like she's kind of put it down, but she picks it up here and there. I never do. Like
Yeah.
last time I played it was September. I don't know.
Right.
Like, but yeah.
No, I played Animal Crossing on the GameCube when I was like in 4th grade. And so playing this new one, it was just so much better than the older ones. And I think it just had the nostalgic factor to it. Because I think that if I didn't play it back then, I wouldn't have any interest in it.
Mhm.
But just because I played it so much as a kid, it just kind of sparked that nostalgic memory for me, you know. So that's my honorable mention. But my number 3 is Rem Royale. Pretty much for the same reason as well. It was another game that I played so much with my wife. We played for a good like 2 or 3 months, and you know, I'm sure now that we're settled in and we're kind of a little more calmed down and chilled with the house, I'm sure we'll pick it back up and play together again. So Rem Royale, I've mentioned before, is just like kind of like Fortnite but without building. So you know, my wife and I can play in a match together in a battle royale, and we've won a couple of matches, and I know that there's like not that many people that play it anymore, so I think they put in a lot of bots, but it's still fun to like strategize with my wife when we play, you know, calling out where enemies are and working together. It's something that I never expected to do with my wife when we first got married, because like I couldn't think of anything that we could like really strategize in that kind of a game. But that was really fun playing Rem Royale. And my number 2 is a VR game that I just started playing like 5 days ago. It's called Walkabout Mini Golf. So my nephew got a Oculus Quest 2 for Christmas. It's the new Oculus series. It just came out. It's like not. It doesn't have any wires. It doesn't connect to a PC, so you can play it anywhere you want as long as you have internet, or you can even play it without internet. So he's been playing some games, and my brother-in-law told me that I should get this mini golf game so I could play with my nephew online. And so I picked it up and I started playing it, and it's really fun. Like it feels like you're actually playing at a mini golf putt course where like all you do is just go through courses of mini golf, and it's just so seamless and so smooth when you what's the word? When you swing
Stroke.
when you swing, yeah, when you like stroke. No, it's like when you
Putt.
swing your putter or
Yeah.
whatever. When you swing your putter, it just feels like every little movement you make with your wrist and your arms and shoulders and hips and like your whole body, it's just like it is in real life. So like if you're an amazing putter in real life, you'll do great in this game, like right off the bat. I feel like it's really awesome.
The thing with that game is I came over here and played it with Carter, and he had me do it and do a quick match. And like the people on the game are like nothing like any other like online gaming like community. Like I got paired up with a Swedish guy, and he was the nicest guy ever. And like I was trying to trash talk with him, and it was just like impossible because he's just like, "Nah, man, it'll be fun. Let's just have fun." Like I don't know.
Right. Like I get on Call of Duty and like the whole lobby are just so toxic. And then you get on Walkabout Mini Golf and you're just playing with the nicest guys that like just got a VR for Christmas, and they're just barely getting into VR, and they're just so nice and polite, and everyone's just so fun. And it's just fun to get into a little mini golf game with some random person and just have a good time together. Like you're not really competing against each other. You're just laughing at each other's mistakes or applauding each other's, you know, awesome shots. I mean, if you guys have a VR set, I suggest you look it up and get it. It's pretty cheap, and you'll have a great time. Even if you're not a fan of golf, I really think that you'll like this game.
Are there any $60 VR games, or is everything cheap?
Yeah, there's a couple I've seen on the store, but they're not like the main games. They're not the most popular games. Like, when you think of VR games, you think of like Beat Saber and like the roller coaster games and like just some little shooter games. Even like the, I guess you would say like the main first person shooter games are only like $25. And Beat Saber is only like $15, I think, but they're not very expensive. And a lot of the really good games are just free. And so it's a really good deal, especially now in this day of age. Getting the Quest 2 or any VR set, in 2021, you're getting a much better deal than you are like 5 years ago. Because I believe the Oculus Rift, when it first came out, was like $800. If I might be wrong, but it was really expensive. And when I got mine like 3 years ago, I got it on Black Friday for like $300, and it's still great. It runs like I got it this year. It doesn't feel outdated at all. So I'm just gonna wait until maybe the Quest 3 comes out or whatever until I upgrade, because it sounds pretty nice to get the no PC attachment bundle. Anyway, my number one for this year is probably Valorant as well. As some of you guys heard from the other episodes, I'm a big fan of Counter-Strike, and Valorant is pretty much the same concept as Counter-Strike. It's much
It feels it's a cleaner game,
polished, I believe now. Not in gameplay. Like, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's just cleaner, and it just feels smoother than a game that came out in 2012. But in all honesty, when Counter-Strike comes out with a new game, I'll go back to Counter-Strike, and probably just leave Valorant. But Valorant's fun. It's pretty much a mix of Counter-Strike and Overwatch, where you get these abilities depending on your character, whereas in Counter-Strike, everyone has the same guns as everyone else. But it's been a lot of fun, especially playing with you guys. We played that for a bit last year in 2020, and that was a lot of fun.
I'm down.
And we should jump back into it sometime once we get settled in.
Once I get back.
Yeah.
But I do want to CSGO. I just downloaded it again because I just got my office set up, and it feels pretty different. It feels like a new game, honestly.
Yeah.
The homepage and everything from when I played it in 20.
Yeah. It keeps updating a lot. They're pretty active with their updates.
They're trying to keep up with Valorant.
Yeah.
They should be developing a new game. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, I'll jump back to Counter-Strike when they come out with a new game. Could be 3 years from now when they come out with a new game.
10.
We were hoping before your even mentioned, you were hoping that there would be a new Counter-Strike by the time you get back.
Yeah, in 2018, I was like, 2020, there'll definitely be a new one, but nope. I don't think there's any word on a new one, is there?
It doesn't sound like Valve even wants to even start making one. So
if you check right now, there's probably 500,000 people playing it right now, and
like, there's no real point to make a new one when you still have a cult following that's huge.
Until they stop making the amount of money that they used to making, I don't see any reason why they would make a whole new game until they start losing money. So I'll just be patient. What about you, Colin? What are
my games?
What are your games?
Okay, I have 2 honorable mentions. Because I feel like they need to be honorable mentions, but I feel like one would be higher on my list. I don't know. I'll just say the 2 games. I'd say Among Us would be one of my honorable mentions. Like, it isn't like a game that's going to be like game changer for me that I'm going to think about all the time, but I think of all the social interactions I've had with like friends and friends of friends and like things like that, people I've met because of it, and it was just a fun social game. And then my other one is Breath of the Wild, and I know it's a 3-year-old game, but I've played it a lot these last like 4 months, like a lot. I collected all the Korok seeds. I just finished getting all the side quests done in this week, things like that. So I don't know.
So you've been playing that game for like 2 years, huh?
So I put it down all of 2019. I think I played it for probably 4 hours in 2019, but then I picked it back up this year.
Okay.
One thing about Breath of the Wild before you move on, and we're definitely gonna have a Zelda episode one of these weeks. I've never gotten into Breath of the Wild. I never really got hooked on it. So we'll definitely talk about that when we focus on Zelda.
Yeah.
And you guys can try to convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Post in the comments below why Carter should get into it. Like,
yeah, I tried it. I probably put in like 25-30% of the overall content, but I just couldn't keep going.
Yeah, you've beaten like 3 of the 4 temples, right?
Yeah. But I didn't do like any side quests or anything.
Oh, the side quests are kind of worthless. Like,
right.
I was so bored on some of them. Like, I don't know. I can't convince myself that the whole game is great, but like, I can convince myself that the time I've had playing it has been funner than like 99% of other games I've played. So
Oh wow.
I don't know. It's up there with Skyrim for me in like that realm. Like just how much time and effort I put into it. For my second and third, we already talked about my third was Animal Crossing. Don't really need to touch on it. Wife got into it. I love playing with my wife. She's never gamed before. We know. Then second and first are kind of like equal. Like I can't put them at a first and second, so I'll just say both of them. Cold War, because of the time I've had with friends playing it at this time with Carter and Sawyer and their friends and stuff as well. I don't know. This Call of Duty, like Call of Duty, I feel like always hits the right time of year for me when I start social playing again with people, and it just is always the perfect game to say, "Hey, just jump on because we all have it. Like, let's do it." And then the other one, same as Carter, was Valorant. Like, great game, fun. I don't know. So those are my top two.
I feel like Valorant would get really popular if it gets
Nice.
released on console. So
Yeah,
I could imagine it being released this year in 2021.
There hasn't been too many updates on that, but as we were preparing for this, I wanted to. So I went on like 5 different review sites for 2020, the top video games of 2020, and in our top 3, we only hit 3 of them. So I went to all the different websites because they all had different top 10s for the top games of 2020, and I wanted to say those because I learned some. So I kind of did like little check marks on this game was in this list and this game was on this list, and I made it. So Doom Eternal was number 10. Warzone was number 9. Microsoft Flight Simulator was around 8.
It looks pretty cool. I've never
really?
I've never seen gameplay,
looked at it.
Like, I've seen pictures.
Doom
Yeah.
was
Doom
was automatically going to be up there because of all those people that played Doom when they were younger. Like I can't like be nostalgic about it, but like
no. Number 7 was Final Fantasy. Number 7 Remake, and then number 6 was Spider-Man Miles Morales. I always wanted to play the Spider-Man games, but I don't have PlayStation. That's like the only game that I would play if I had a PlayStation. That kind of makes me excited. Number 5 is Fall Guys, which I never played.
I played it like
played it, right?
a week and then I stopped.
It's fun. It's quirky.
Oh,
That's
really?
about it.
Right. There's no real competition in my opinion.
I've seen gameplay.
It's a lot of luck, but at the same time, you kind of need to know the little tricks to get ahead. But this, like, I don't know. There's not much to say about it. It's a fun game.
Yeah. So number 4, Among Us, which was on Colin's list. Number 3, Animal Crossing, which was on Colin and Carter's. Number 2 was Last of Us, and number 1 was Hades.
I've heard of Hades and I've wanted to play it, but
yeah, I watched some gameplay. So Hades was on every list, number 1 for this year.
Never even heard of it.
It's like a dungeon. What would you call it, Colin? You're good.
So it changes the layout of the dungeon every time you go in, I think. And you go in and try to go and get out of hell, kind of thing. Get out of Hades' lair. And like that's basically it. I don't remember what your character is. I know
demigod.
He was sent down to hell for some reason, and he's a demigod.
It's like,
so
like a top view. And you're like going through dungeons, killing people.
Like if I had to call it something, it'd be like a rapid slasher. Like you're at a top view with your character and you're just trying to kill everything. Kind of like Minecraft Dungeons.
So that was shocking. That was on like every. Right,
my thing that's crazy about that is like no content creators really made content out of it. Like I heard of a lot of content creators saying, yeah, it's the game I play like when I'm alone, like PewDiePie. I watch a little bit of PewDiePie here and there. And he was like, yeah, if I'm playing a game, it's usually Hades. And I'm like, what is this game that you just threw out there and nobody's ever said anything about it? So,
and then the last 3 things, these are just the game awards. The winner of 2020 was Last of Us Part 2, as a lot of people guessed. The best multiplayer platform game was Among Us.
Makes sense.
And then the best esports game was League of Legends. So
every year, probably.
Every year, yes. But yeah, that's it. I thought that was interesting.
So for the next like 10 minutes, you guys want to like rewind about like our lives in 2020 kind of thing, like how we felt? Because like to me, 2020, the beginning of the year, like I forget the stuff that happened at the beginning of the year until like we started thinking about it again. And I really wrote down my notes today that like the first 3 or 4 months feel like a completely different year. 2020 first half. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like
Pre-COVID.
like beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then this last half feels like I don't know. It feels like the year went by super fast, but then as I look at it, a lot of stuff happened this year.
Yeah.
And that's not usually the same thing for me, because it's usually like I go to school, I finish that semester, I come home for the summer, go to school, come home for winter. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that happens when you get married.
Right.
Yep.
So I went to Malaysia in February of 2020, and that was near the beginning of COVID. And I know a lot of you might be tired of hearing about COVID, but that's pretty much what 2020 was all about. But we were in Malaysia during when everything was starting, and so we were kind of checking the news every night before bed, just seeing what was going on and seeing if we were able to make it back home to the US. But that just seems so long ago, and that was in 2020. And so many things have happened since then. I feel like we're on the downhill of everything, and I feel like 2021 will be a good year, despite a lot of people thinking that nothing will change or all that. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like things are going to pull together, and I'm just optimistic about this whole thing. That's the best thing that you should do, is just be optimistic.
I don't know. I think that I'm optimistic with it. I think that this summer is probably when it's going to all die down, or I feel like there's going to be a lot of angry people, because I feel like this summer is going to be the time where it's no, we want to be like we're alive. Let's go out and do things. Let's get back to our lives, kind of a thing. But I don't know. We'll see.
We can hope. For me, this was actually a really good year for me in some aspects. So I was in Arizona, Tempe for the first 6 months until April. So I was supposed to be there for 24 months until July, pretty much. But because of COVID, it got cut short 3 months early. So that was a blessing to be able to be with my family. I felt like by the time I was spending in Arizona was coming to an end. I wasn't feeling useful anymore with COVID. And then 3 months later, after I got home, I got to get married. And COVID kind of gives you a reason to stay home with your wife. So, and then we spent a lot of time having fun together. So for me, 2020, I will have good memories of it coming out of it.
Same, man.
But I mean, there's other aspects that weren't as good. But yeah, those are basically my two things: got home early, married, and just working.
Yeah, just living the life. I feel like once we get back into a movie theater when this is all over, I feel like just being in that room with everyone is just going to be a real bonding experience. Just being with a bunch of strangers where we're just like I feel like you almost want to just hug it out with a stranger. We did it, guys. We're back. We're back. Let's watch this. Let's just watch a movie. Let's just relax and
Let's
just
all share
enjoy
this
this evening. Exactly. But I feel like that's kind of the vibe of what's going to happen when this is all done. And then you walk out of the movie theater, you're all just kind of crowding out the same door, and you're just feeling good. And I'm excited for that day.
I haven't been to a movie theater in 2.5 years, and I am, what's the word? Horny for it.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm longing for it. What about you, Colin?
What about me about this year?
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing that I need to remember about 2020 is that I got engaged in January of 2020. That does not feel like the same year at all. It feels so long ago now. Coming up on a year of being when I got engaged with my wife. I don't know. I feel like a lot of older viewers, our older cousins that watch this and stuff, are going to be like, you youngins, nah, shut up. I don't know. That happened. And then me and Brina were able to plan out a whole non-COVID wedding for our first 2.5 months of being engaged, and had it all set in stone and everything, what was going to happen. Then COVID hit, and that's why it feels like two separate time zones, is because our first half of the year was just working so hard on trying to make the wedding the best wedding we could out of the circumstances we had. But then after it was over, just so many good memories came from it. I think the biggest thing is being able to say, I got my own place, my own apartment with my wife and this is my first own place I've ever had.
Yep.
It feels great, to have your own space and say, this is mine. I'm paying for this. I'm doing everything I can for this. My wife dropped BYUI last episode, but so I go to BYU Idaho, and how they do rooming there when you're single is you move into an apartment and usually have 4 to 8 other guys there in your same apartment. And so you never have like your own space except for your room, unless you have your own roommate, then you don't even have that. I don't know. So it just feels great to be able to have my own space. And that's probably the best memory, is having my own space.
Just having your own privacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. Because that's what happened with our marriage too, is it took us 3 months before we had our own space too. It's a good feeling when you finally have something that's your own and you don't have to share with anyone else but you and your wife.
Like, I totally forgot that I lived with my parents for 3 months being married. You just brought that up. I was like, oh, wow, yeah. First 3 months of being married, I lived with my parents upstairs while I was working at the tire shop in town. So
yeah,
went right over my head. All right, do you guys want to move on to movies? Because that's what we talked about before. Like, let's move on.
Yeah, I feel like big movies are a big part of a lot of people's COVID life of 2020.
Yep. Looking at my list, no, I don't think any of these came out in 2020. One movie came out in 2019, the other in 2019, another one came out in 2017, I think. Oh, 2018. Okay. So, number 3, I don't have an honorable mention here, but number 3 was A Star is Born, the one with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. I really enjoyed it. I was not expecting to enjoy it at all. Well, I liked some of the songs, and I thought I would enjoy the musical aspect a little bit. But coming out of it, I really enjoyed it. Acting was really good. Lady Gaga's first time acting, she was really believable. I really felt her character a lot. And it hit me hard, man. Hit me real good.
Did you cry?
I wanted to, but I didn't. No. It takes a lot to make me cry in a movie.
I feel the last time I cried in a movie was Spirit, that one horse movie.
Really?
What's it, DreamWorks, or is it? Yeah, I think it's DreamWorks.
Yeah, I think it is.
I cried when I was a kid. That's like the only movie I've ever cried in.
Yeah, it's DreamWorks. That's funny.
Anyways, yeah, sorry.
And number 1 and 2 are so close. My family's really big into movies, so I've watched a ton of movies when I got back, trying to catch up on everything. But number 2 and 1 are really close, but I have to give number 2, it's right below it, Us, the horror movie by Jordan Peele. Yeah, Jordan Peele. And it's the scene in that movie, the clones of people are coming up out of the ground, out of the sewers, and okay, spoilers. Yep. They're basically clones of people are killing their clones. The whole movie intrigued me, and I love movies where I catch kind of the twist, because I feel like they did the twist that I want in the movie. Because I'll usually during the movie think about how it's going to twist and what's going to happen. And I caught this movie. I completely thought that twist was going to happen. When it happened, I was like, heck yeah, that hit right. Just a really good movie. Acting was good. I highly recommend it. And then, real quick, number 1 is El Camino. For those who know, Breaking Bad is my favorite. It's supreme in the entertainment world and movies and TV shows. I've watched it probably 8 times. I will continue to watch it. I'm going to watch it again with my wife, so that'll be 9 times. And the El Camino movie, when I left for my mission, I knew I couldn't watch it, but I heard that they were coming out with a Breaking Bad movie. And I was both really scared and excited, because I was like, if they do something that ruins how that show ended, it will ruin everything. But then watching it, it was probably the first movie I watched when I got home, and they did justice to the show. They kept it going in a strong way. They didn't go too strong. It just hit right down the middle. They gave solace to Jesse's character, Jesse Pinkman, and it was a great movie. Great soundtrack. They showed more insights into how the show ended, but they didn't go too far to where you felt like, okay, now it's just kind of like stretching a little bit. Yeah, for those who haven't watched Breaking Bad or El Camino, highly recommend it. It'll change your lives. It'll be your favorite show or movie.
Colin's raising his hand.
Yes. And that's it. Stars Born, Us, and El Camino.
And I want to preface that, like, I don't watch that many TV shows and movies. It's hard on me. Like, I don't know. Like, I've always wanted to watch Breaking Bad because Carter and Sawyer both have told me, like, dude, it's the best show ever. Like, you need to watch it. And they also say, like, oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Watch that one too. And it's like, I just don't find the time, and I don't find the interest to sit down. Like, if I watch something, it's mainly because I'm a nerd about it. One of my biggest things is to be a nerd about is usually Star Wars and Star Wars stuff. I hadn't watched The Mandalorian just because I didn't sit down and watch it when it came out. But me and my wife being home and I'm not with my setup and everything there at my parents' house, we watched all 8 episodes in 3 days. And it was great. I loved every minute of it because I'm a nerd for Star Wars. That's basically all my new movie stuff that I watched this year. Rena might be able to tell me more what I watched, but I can't remember anything else that was notable. Right. I don't know. So that's my extent of this whole conversation.
Yeah, we all have different interests in movies and TV shows and things like that. Mine is kind of random. I don't know what order I can put these 3 in, so I'll just start from the top of my list. My first one is Get Out. It's the same director, Jordan Peele, as Sawyer mentioned in the movie Us. And it's just a really good, would you call it a thriller? Yeah. It's not really a horror movie. It's a thriller. It's a good movie.
It is horror because horror is a thriller, bloody, because at the end it's kind of bloody.
Right. And I don't get how you guys have fun with that. I don't. I hate being scared.
It's a good plot. It's not just to scare you. It's really not.
It doesn't scare you to the very end. That kind of thing. It's really
like, does it give you chills?
It's not really that scary to me. It's not. There's a second movie I'm going to talk about that's way more disturbing. Than scary. But Get Out is really good. It tackles like racism and hypnotism, and I don't know how to go into it without spoiling anything, but it's just a boyfriend and girlfriend visiting the girlfriend's family, and things go down.
I feel like 80% of the movie is just a normal movie that really intrigues you, and it's like, why are they acting this way? Why are they doing these things? But then the last 20% is kind of more horror. It's kind of thriller, excitement, action. Yeah.
It's a good build up, and it keeps you wanting to figure out more and more and more. And it has good comedy in it. Mm-hmm. I really love the comedy in the movie. Really funny in some parts, and that's just.
I watched Get Out in 2017 when it came out. I can't remember when that was. I like Us just a little more than Get Out. Like, I've never seen anything like Us. I've seen a few horror movies that are like Get Out, and for that I love it. But Us is just a little better just because it's a little more unique. I've never seen anything similar. But Get Out's great. Yeah.
My second one is Hereditary. And it's a really disturbing horror movie. It's not a jump scare movie for me, in my opinion. It's not like a movie where it's just going to keep jump scaring you. It's just a very disturbing movie. When you're watching it, you're probably going to make a face where you're just kind of concerned for like what you're watching. What am I looking at right now? It kept me captivated during the whole time. It is kind of slow in some parts, but I think that's the kind of the point they were trying to make is just to really take their time with the movie. And my last pick just was released, I think, on Christmas. It's on Disney Plus. It's Soul. I liked Soul. Have you seen it, Sawyer?
I have not.
You haven't? Mm-mm. I liked it. I really liked it. It just tackles the message of just enjoying the small things in life and just appreciating life in general. And if you guys have Disney Plus, I'm sure a lot of you viewers have Disney Plus somewhere access to. I would recommend watching it. It's just a Pixar movie, and in my opinion, every Pixar movie is great. And I really love that movie a lot. Mm-hmm. We just watched it the other day because it just came out. Good animation. It looks really good, and it's just kind of my kind of movie. So I have 2 horror movies and a Pixar movie.
I heard it started off really slow, and then it got the message. No, okay, that's what I heard. But
it was just kind of freaky.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like just the whole vibe of the beginning, like when the main character is trying to figure out what's going on, it's just kind of freaky. Like, it's not scary. Like, it's just kind of like, this is kind of weird. Like, just learning as the protagonist is learning about what's going on is just kind of freaky.
Didn't you say it was like the adult Inside Out?
Yeah, I would say it's a lot like Inside Out, but in a different spectrum, not in like the mind of a person. It's like it's similar.
That's cool.
But I highly recommend it. Yeah, you should watch it, Sawyer.
I do want to say, I want to bring up the worst movie experience I've had.
Yeah,
this year. By far tops everything else. It's both bad because I think the movie's bad, but also my excitement was high and it was bad movie. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but Mulan, the new live action, the new
my
live
wife really
action.
wants to watch it.
Yeah, I
haven't seen it because I've heard that it's bad, but I'll end up watching it.
I thought it was a terrible movie. The acting was not good. The way they made the movie, it made you not intrigued by the characters at all. They didn't like make you like anybody. And there's like way too much action, way too much magic, and then they kind of like tease you with the songs. They like put the melody of the songs in the background, but I just want to hear them sing it. And it was
there's no Mushu, man.
Yeah, and no Mushu. There's so many problems with this movie. They added a wizard girl who helped the main antagonist. There's like a wizard girl who helps him fight and stuff, and I don't know. It was way too much for me. It was bad. The worst experience.
They're trying to make it more realistic to like the original story.
Exactly, but it went the opposite way. It's like, don't watch it. But if you want to watch it, watch it.
I'll end up watching it because my wife really wants to watch it. But
I mean, it's on Disney Plus now without any extra fees, so might as well watch it. But I didn't want to watch it when you had to pay for it.
Yeah,
it isn't worth it.
So now that it's free, not free, but now that it's available with the Disney Plus subscription, I probably will end up watching it because my wife really wants to watch it.
Watch it, and we'll talk about it next time.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's scary. I don't want movie subscriptions to start making you pay for movies.
Yeah,
that's a scary future.
You have to go against those kind of things, so they don't do it.
Their biggest thing, I think, though, was because they couldn't put it out in theaters. So but like, I still don't get it. I don't know.
Well, they didn't do that with Onward or Soul.
Yeah,
a couple other movies that came out this year.
I don't know.
I think they just thought Mulan was their baby because it's a live action remake of one of the Renaissance movies.
Yeah,
they just didn't want it to flop, and it did.
Gotcha. Well, I remember one more show I did watch that none of you would probably know that I think is worth a shout out because I did watch it and I was interested by it. It was an anime called Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, anime!
I think I've heard it. I've heard of it.
You need to. It's a really good one. Like, I've only watched the first season, and I'll probably watch more when I get back to Rexburg. But I don't know.
Cool.
I really liked it. So.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
a lot of people call it Hunter x Hunter.
I've seen ads for it before.
Oh, got you. Yeah. It's just this world where, like, the main occupation, like the top occupation, is becoming a hunter, and like it's this following this kid's dream of being a hunter. So
yeah, I've been watching anime too. I only watch one anime. It's One Piece. So I've been watching that pretty much all throughout the year with my wife, and we're just trying to catch up. Definitely want to talk about it on another episode. But One Piece, I'm a big fan of it.
We should have an anime episode. So we all have single like little bits of.
Yeah, we're not all like big anime watchers, but we have like that one or two shows that we like. So we'll talk about that in the future. But we can move on to our last segment of the episode. Just kind of our resolutions, some of our goals that we want to hope for and plan for in 2021. Since
for ourselves and for our channel, I'd say, right?
Yeah, for our channel especially, and for our individual lives. And we're recording this on the 1st of January, so we're in that that mood where we're ready for this year, and we're ready to make some changes and do some improvements to our lives, and especially this channel, like I said.
To our lives and to our hobbies.
So what are some things that you guys want to do with this channel, with this podcast, within this year? What are you guys hoping?
I think that by June or halfway through this year, I want to start making gameplay videos and being able to bring some gameplay to the viewers and be able to show like my interests and why I like games through that. Like, that's a big thing I want to do. And I want to hear the comments from our viewers, like what games you'd like us to see us play, or if that'd even be something you'd be interested in, is watching us game and like explain why we like games and things like that. Because I think it'd be cool. And I don't know, we'd like to have discussions in the Discord and stuff to talk with you guys, the viewers, on like how we make this happen and the best way to go about it, because we're brand new at it too. We kind of have some ideas of what we want to do. And so who knows, we can bounce it off you guys and we can bounce it off each other. And
yeah, kind of going with what Colin said, I just really want to have interaction with the viewers, with you guys listening. It's almost like you guys are just as important as Colin and Sawyer are to me with this channel. Having the interaction with you guys, having that discussion in the Discord, having your comments, interacting. I plan to do a few giveaways. I'd be down to have some giveaway, events and things going on where we can interact with you guys, play some games together. Just like Colin said, have some gameplay videos. Just have any content that you guys would like to watch, because I feel like our channel, it shouldn't lock down on one thing. We kind of want to just have fun with it and do whatever we want with it. And like, it just goes back to what I said with interacting with you guys, just creating content that we all enjoy doing and making, and then that you guys enjoy watching.
Which brings me back to the Discord. Like, I just want to throw this out there right now, plug it really quick. Please join it if you haven't below. It'll be linked below. But here pretty soon, I'm going to be starting to throw out questions of the week, and I'd like to hear you guys' answers and stuff like that, because it will really help us in making these podcasts and making videos in the future and stuff like that. And for our first question of the week, I'll probably post it when this episode comes out, but it really is just going to be like, what do you want to hear us talk about next? Like, what are you excited to hear about from us?
Yeah. So if you're listening to this right now, go ahead into the Discord, and we'd love to hear your answers. We'd love to hear you guys interact with us, and we'll definitely interact back with you guys. We love replying to your messages. We're so grateful for your comments that you've made. It's been awesome to see our channel grow throughout these past few weeks. And we're not going to stop. We're going to come up with episodes every week, every Wednesday. And we're excited for you guys to come along in the ride with it. And we're just excited for this year of 2021 with our channel.
What about you, Sawyer? Do you have any goals?
You took the one I was gonna say. I just feel like I'm not too worried about, like, we can't control who joins the Discord or who watches, but I just wanted to, push forward and aim for in a few months to start making more, gameplay videos, more content than once a week. And no promises of more than once a week, but when we do, just having some more content of us playing video games and doing what you guys want us to do is all I wanted. That's really my only goal for the podcast. But like in life, in the next the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking about what I want 2021, what I want to do, and I really only have two goals. One of them is to get back on working out. When I was when I was in Arizona, I worked out a lot. When I had some good friends near with me, we'd pump the iron. We'd push ups. We'd help each other out. I hope now with my wife that we can have that connection together.
The same goal.
Yeah, it's hard to find it. And then my second one that I'm really excited is I want to read books more. I want to read nonfiction books, like not necessarily self-help books, but books like how to get better at this attribute, or how to that's pretty much self-help. And I don't know how many books I want to read, but maybe like 4 books throughout the year, and start just becoming more of a reader. I want to, learn more, have more knowledge in life than I have been trying recently. So like 3-4 books throughout the year, and working out are really my 2 big things right now that I've thought about.
Nice. It seems like we all have the same goal of working out, so we'll have to keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
And next New Year's, we'll look back at this video and we'll talk about
how I'm fatter than what I was before.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll keep each other accountable. Any of you guys, again, in the comments below, let us know your resolutions as well. Let us know your goals. And
what are your resolutions?
Mine, yeah, definitely working out. I definitely want to get a lot of my school done, so I can get pretty much done this year if I really work hard at it. So that's one of my big goals as well. I'm farming, and I just want to get more knowledge of the farm life and operating the equipment and fixing things. I've just been learning so much the past 2 years since I moved here. Yeah, just constantly growing my knowledge, like you said, Sawyer, especially in farming. So I have a lot of people on the farm that help me learn more, and it's been great being able to understand how a lot of the things work on the farm, because when I was younger, I just didn't know anything how it worked, like even just how the pipes work underneath the ground, how it actually looks and how it operates and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's been really fun to increase my knowledge on the farm, because it's a big part of my life. It's my job, and it'll be my job for my life. So my goal is to just keep learning, keep getting at that, and have a good year with it, and learn more.
For sure. I'll go through mine quickly because they're basically the same as your guys's. Mine is to graduate this year and get certified to teach. I have 2 more semesters left, the winter and the fall, or the winter and the spring. And then I do my student teaching, and by 2022, I should be able to be teaching, so I'm excited for that.
Nice.
If I can get everything done in time, we'll see. I highly hope. And yeah. And then my next one isn't considerable like working out, but like it'll come with working out, but like it's to get back to a comfortable weight. The last 4 or 5 years after my mission, I've let myself go a little bit, and like I kind of want to get back down to a spot where I want to be. I'm not afraid to let everybody know. I'm at 270 right now. I want to be at 240, like back to where I was in high school and back to a comfortable place. And then I have a goal on the gaming side too, is I want to play from the beginning to the end of like 3 or 4 games. Because I've started probably 6 or 7 in 2020 that didn't catch my eye, but I feel like I could have catch my eye and made my top games of my list. But I just didn't finish them because I got distracted or started playing a different game, or I don't know.
I'm just waiting to get Elder Scrolls 6 before I get deep into a story game. But I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's nice to just immerse yourself in like a single game.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to get down to 199. It's gonna be a long road.
That's my goal as well. I'm at 240 right now, so
Freak.
I have 1 year to get to below 200.
Yeah.
Exciting. Yeah. I just want to plug Apple Fitness Plus is awesome. It's a new workout fitness program that came out around this time of the year, and it syncs with your Apple Watch. So if you have an Apple Watch with an iPhone, there's like a 1 to 3 month free trial. I can't remember what it is. I definitely recommend trying it out because it's really awesome.
Apple Workout Plus.
It's called Apple Fitness Plus. It's built into your phone when you update to the latest software. And if you have an Apple Watch, it'll if you have like a pretty recent version of an Apple Watch, you can't use one of the older ones. But it syncs your data to the screen while you're working out, and it shows your numbers up on the top left and your heart rate and your calories, and whenever the instructor like mentions a certain thing about your health, it'll like drop down on your screen and show you like your heart rate and your low heart rate and your average, and like it's really cool. It keeps me motivated. If I wasn't using it, I wouldn't work out as hard. I wouldn't go as long as I have been going with it. So I'm going to keep sticking with it, and it's really going to help me throughout this year achieve my goals. I would definitely check that out if I were you, and if I had the devices to do it.
Cool.
Well, do we want to wrap up?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a great episode to just kind of recap 2020. We hope you all had a happy new year. Hope we have a great year ahead. And thank you so much for watching the episode. And thank you so much for subscribing to us. If you have, and if you have not, please subscribe. We would love for you guys to join us. Join the co-op crew. And yeah, like Colin said earlier, join the Discord. We're going to start interacting with you a lot more than we have been since we started. We want to have Discord be a place where we can all, unite together with our similarities and our differences. We want to hear all of your opinions and suggestions, and we have lots of voice chats in here if you guys want to come hang out with us and play some games, and a great way for us to interact with you guys. We have the new Instagram account, like we mentioned at the beginning, where we will post memes of the episode, and those memes will also be on Twitter as well.
And yeah, we'll catch you next week where we talk to a savage named Siggy. He's a very highly ranked Clash Royale player and loves video games, loves certain video games. He was really a joy to talk to. And that'll be next Wednesday.
Thank y'all. Deuces.
Have a good one.